strict recovery room, and he was full of puncture wounds. He was quiet, he was reserved to himself and turned inwardly. It was a very sad sight, and I felt at that moment that he needed to be hospitalized. He was very moribund. He wasn't feeling well. I was worried about his blood pressure, and he should be on IV fluids, IV antibiotics, and IV painkillers, right? He was sore. He was very swollen. He had severe bruising and damage, probably bruising of the underlying bones as well. It's not just his skin and his tissues, right? And that hurts.
After his surgery, his initial surgery, and he actually walked up to me and put his head right in my stomach and just wanted to be pet. So it was really nice to see that he's not an aggressive dog. He was just scared.
Tyson fit in so well with the family of employees as well as volunteers at the shelter. He was totally friendly with both my sons and my wife and myself. He just needed to know that someone was there to be with him, and he could rely on somebody to feed him and take him out for walks and really, pat his head when he came running to you at the door.
I was really happy to be part of that adoption, so I actually went out back and brought Tyson out of the one door and their dog came out of the other. So even right from the first meeting, it's exciting, but then to see them actually hit it off is just terrific, because you hope for that and it doesn't always happen, but in this case, it couldn't have gone better. It was picture perfect.
Coincidentally enough, when I was told the name, I said, wow, I've known that family for 15 years. I felt a little sad knowing that we fostered them and we were going to miss him, but I was also so excited knowing that he was going to a good family.
It seems that pet abandonment occurs because people don't know what they're getting into. That's why people have to be educated, and we're happy to educate people. If they want to come to us and say, I'm interested in a dog, I don't know anything about it, then we'll take you through it. We'll introduce you to some of our dogs, and maybe at the end of the day you might say, this isn't the right time for me, and we respect that.
Abandoning a pet when it was in the stage that Tyson was is very irresponsible, not only emotionally but medically. You have an obligation to, if your animal is injured, in any way, you need to get it medical attention. It's no different than yourself or your kids. You would do the same thing.
It's never appropriate to abandon a pet, ever. A pet should never be turned out onto the streets to fend for themselves. So if a pet's in a circumstance where you can no longer care for them, and it's not reasonable for them to stay in your home or to find a new home within your family or network of friends, never abandon them. Bring them to the Humane Society, and people will take care of them until they can find a home.